What's up, YouTube? I'm going to do a little video today. I'm going to start off with a little bit of a rant, and then I'll get on to the subject matter that I have right here, and I'll leave the link for this. Why can't we see through the delusion that no one person can do the work of millions of people, and that one or few people, person's infinite pleasure is not worth millions, if not billions, of people's pain and suffering? Even when you look to the father of our current economic system, Adam Smith, he did not see wealth of nations as his masterpiece, but the theory of moral sentiments, which had serious underpinnings to all his other books, including Wealth of Nations. This is what I use against when I run into an economist that starts running his mouth about how capitalism is so great and how capitalism is still working fine, but it's not, because it's not working with the underpinnings that Adam Smith wrote about in the theory of moral sentiments. And I want to show you that a little bit here today. This is the book, the entire thing. I will post a link so you can read it yourself. Please do, because this will arm you. What's highlighted right here is the only piece I really need, and it's at the very beginning of the book, chapter 1, section 1. How selfish soever man may be supposed, there is evidently some principles in his nature which interest him in the fortune of others, and render their happiness necessary to him, though he derives nothing from it except for the pleasure of seeing it. Problem with this is that the companies and the big companies that exist today do not experience emotion. They cannot know what it's like to have compassion. When our economic system has turned into what it is today, capitalism becomes a profit machine. So much so that it can get into governments and start corrupting them. And even if it doesn't get into governments and corrupts them, even if that is not the case, even though it is, these companies get so big that one government cannot deal with them itself, because they are multinational, having headquarters in several different countries. Just because you set one law in one country will not stop a company from doing it in other countries. And now with the Citizens United ruling that was done here in the United States, now the companies can just spend as much money as they want and buy and produce all the ads that they want. And there is evidence of this from the recent Wisconsin recall of Walker. Bennett Bennett was running against him. Bennett was only able to get $4 million compared to Walker's almost $30 million that he got from outside. 70% of it came from outside sources of Wisconsin, outside of the state, to crush the unions. And as we see all this going on, I can't help but think and see that our country is turning into a dictatorship. I mean, and it's not just the U.S., it's the entire world. The entire world is starting to look more and more like China, with less rights, less opportunity, less innovation, less social and economic mobility, and less dreams. In America today, we're seeing diseases that can be easily treated even in third world countries. This is just something else I mean, it is a major factor when we go into the theory of moral sentiments, but at the same time, they're using this as a way to divide us and to remove more of our rights. They're using religion, culture clashes, racism, uh, uh, just anything that they can come up with. I mean, it has gotten to the point now that Americans are so disconnected from all other Americans that they don't care if thousands of Americans die every year from the hand of inaction because they can't get medical care. But they do care if one or a couple, two buildings are blown up, and then a couple thousand Americans die that way, and then they care. But they don't care in the other direction. They don't care that they're losing their rights. That some people are losing their right to vote. They don't, and actually some people are in favor of this. Some people don't like. Some people like that gays are losing their rights, or being denied rights altogether. And all of these are just used to divide us that much more. And all I have to say is get your heads out of the media and start thinking critically. One of the things that needs to happen is, at least in the United States, for us to try to break up some of these big companies. These too big to fail companies are too big to exist. They are too big, they have no emotion, they have no compassion, they cannot follow the theory of moral sentiments laid out by Adam Smith, who created capitalism. They cannot follow this because they have no emotion to begin with. All they understand is profits. Profits, not even long-term profits. It's all short-term. That's all these companies could give two shits about. And we need to get our heads out of the media and out of our asses and stop fighting each other over all of these issues and realize what is going on. And this isn't just in America. This is happening from this economic recession that the entire world's been hit. These companies are taking advantage of it in the worst way, by trying to bleed us more as the concentration of wealth gets even more concentrated. There's got to be an end to this, because this is the end game of capitalism run wild. This isn't even the capitalism that Adam Smith even talked about, he even dreamed about. So we need to come together and leave all these other things that we are talking about behind. Otherwise, we are giving up our liberty, our pursuit of happiness. We're giving it all away, and we're gonna fall to servitude. And we already are on that path, in that direction. As one of my other videos showed, the decrease in wages as the corporate profits go up. We are so close to being slaves that it is ridiculous. Some people will even argue that we are slaves today. And I don't understand how we can let this go on. Either we take care of this now, that this generation takes care of this now and lifts us out of the ashes, or we fall to naught but ash. This is our time. This is when we have to take action. We can no longer be complacent. We can no longer fight each other. It's coming down to unity and freedom, or slavery. And it's really our choice. It's our choice. Do not let the media affect the way you vote. The attack ads that are going on, it's all propaganda. All of it, it's all propaganda, and we need to see through this. This is Darkana signing off, saying, do your research, and please don't believe anything until you've seen all the evidence and the data for yourself. And anytime you run into an economist, use this book, The Theory of Moral Sentiments by Adam Smith, first published in 1759. It shuts them up, because most of them haven't even read this book. It's not even in their courses anywhere. So, like I said, this is Darkana signing off again, saying do your research and don't believe anything until you've seen the evidence and the data for yourself.